Hi there, this is Darren from Treasure Life Family Farms, and today we're going to recharge the air conditioning system on the old Toyota Sienna. The old Toyota Sienna has 202,000 miles or so, and I'd say 6 years ago we had low air conditioning, so we took it to Jiffy Lube. They recharged it, and kind of hey, it's about 10 years old, probably about time for recharge on the air conditioning system. So we did that, and it was $120 or something. Next year it was back to low, so we went to Tuffy's and told them our situation, and they said, oh yeah, well, we can put a dye in the system, and that will, if it leaks out again, we can look for where the dye makes its mark and know where to start looking for a leak. So we did that. The year after that, we took it back to Tuffy's and said, hey, yeah, remember that dye you put in there and it leaked out again, so we should be able to find that. And another $150, and they looked everywhere and couldn't figure out where the leak was happening, even from the dye. And I think we even went back to them another year to get it recharged. And then we discovered the AC Pro. Last year was the first year we tried that, and seemed to work pretty good. So I want to kind of film through that. So this time I'm starting with baseline. I have these temperature bricks, or I'm not even sure what you'd call that thing. It's a little insert. You could mount that in your car if you wanted to. And before we start the van today, we're at 79 degrees, 65% humidity. And so what I want to do next is I'll start it up and let it run for about 5 minutes with the blower on high before we do any charging, to see if we get any kind of cooling at this point. So that's where we'll start out. Stay tuned. All right, before we start it up and it starts making a little bit more noise than we want to talk over, 202,659 miles. We bought this. It's a 2008 Toyota Sienna LE minivan. We bought it new in September 11th, 2008. And so that's we bought it new and been driving it ever since. So let's fire it up. We'll let it run on the with the blower air conditioner cranked wide open for about 5 minutes, and we'll check back and see if we get our 79 degrees to go to anything other than 79 degrees. Okay, so we've let this run for, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, and as you can clearly tell by our thermometer that this air conditioner is blowing what I would consider to be ice cold. And I don't know what the kids are talking about. Dad, there's no air conditioning going on at all. It's gonna be so hot, and we do have a string of 90-some degree days coming up. Now we're down to 48. I don't know how low that'll eventually drop, but it does feel cold. But given that I've got everything out, I'm gonna go hook up to the air conditioner port and maybe top it off a little. I don't know. Doesn't seem like there's a lot to fix here. Alright, so this is the port we want to hook up to, so we can take the cap off of that. Make sure you don't get your fingers in the belts or anything else down there. that's not a breakdown about to happen alongside the road, but we'll adjust accordingly if that happens. So with our AC Pro, we have a kind of a push on. This just pushes onto this connection down here. Okay. If we read our gauge, it's automatically at 32% or so, so it's down a little bit from full. So as a reminder, the way to fill this is to rock the can back and forth, and as you rock the can forward, you've got a lever here you want to push to, allow it to have some of the AC Pro. So let's go ahead and start that process. And then we look and we're slightly higher than what we were before. And again, I'm holding down the trigger on this. I'm not pulsating it every time I tip the can. I think I said that. That was wrong. That's not really makes sense. So we're not shaking it 100 miles an hour. It's just rocking it back and forth. And every so often you come back and check. And we're getting a little more. This can take up to 10 minutes, especially if you had a depleted system. It just needs to kind of get picked up by the air conditioning system and worked into the overall system. So I'm probably going to stop there. I think we've added some to it. We've got some left in our can. I don't know how much more we want to go. So let me go ahead and disconnect by pulling up on just a little ring thing under here. You just grab it and pull up. We've disconnected. Set my can aside. Make sure you put your cap back on this. And then let's go see what we've got inside. I feel like our AC Pro canister is empty at this point. Just maybe just a hair or a little bit left. Not much, if any. And so that kind of got us 2 seasons. We're rocking 47 degrees now that we've made that major upgrade. Basically, we didn't need to do anything at this point. And it is blowing cold. It feels nice and cold. The temperature gauge, whatever that thing is, tells us it's cold. Everything about it just says we didn't need to do this, other than the children saying when we ride with mom in the van, it's just there's no air conditioning. So there we have that. That's our AC Pro for the day. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Super old minivan with some sort of a leak somewhere, and as you can tell, even over most of a year, we still had most of our charge left. So it is a very tiny, small leak somewhere, and I don't know how we would find it. So hopefully we're not killing too much of the environment with our R134A leaking into the environment over very long periods of time. And we are now at 45 degrees on our thing, and that's where we're going to sign off. Thanks for watching.